Hi, and welcome to my Thursday lesson. Today's lesson is going to be on slam bidding. I'm going to cover a few various topics. Now, I'll cover some of the conventions you can use, some of the tools that we'll be using for slam bidding, under what circumstances you can actually try and investigate slam, good technique for investigating slam, a bit of hand judgment, some forcing options, what you should be doing, what you should consider, and a bit of hand visualization to try and work out what do you actually need from partner to make a slam. So here what we have is actually a really strong hand. We've got one of the best hands I've ever seen. We have 24 high card points and a 7 card spade suit. Now, there's only 2 tricks we can possibly lose, so straight away we're thinking, are we in the slam territory? Okay, so this hand's clearly good enough to open 2 clubs. So, what we want to do on this hand is we want to start by opening 2 clubs. Now, this is clearly a good enough hand to open a game-forcing hand on, because we're just thinking, do we want to play and slam? We're not worried about what we need from partner, it's just an easy slam hand. Now, on this hand we've got an unbalanced game force. Now, whenever you're thinking about opening a game force, you want to be pretty conservative on when you open game forces with unbalanced hands. Now, what you have to do is plan ahead in the option of, if I open 2 clubs, I'm taking away lots of space. Now, will I actually be able to show my hand? Now, if you've got an unbalanced hand with just a single suitor, you'll usually be okay. It's unbalanced hands with 2 suitors that can be a real problem. So the real problem can be is that you might not be able to show both your suits. If instead you've got a 2 suitor, you usually don't want to try and open a game forcing 2 clubs because it's pretty tough to show both your suits. Especially if the first suit you're going to bid is a minor. So if that's the case, you want to consider not opening a game force with some reasonably strong hands. Now, if you've got 25 or more points, then you just go ahead and do it. But if you're in the sort of like maybe up to 23 points in a 2-suited hand, it might be really tricky to show your hand if you open it a game force. So you could consider just opening something at the 1 level with pretty strong hands that are 2-suiters. So I really like 2 clubs to be either a strong balanced hand, strong single-suited, or really strong 2-suited hand, especially if the first suit you're going to bid is a minor. Now, that's because you can't check out, you won't be able to show both your suits. So on this hand, I'm quite happy to open 2 clubs because I'm a strong single-suited, so these hands aren't a problem. It's the 2-suited hands that you want to check out. Okay. Now, when responding to 2 clubs, I also really like partner just to bid 2 diamonds waiting on lots of hands. I don't like them to have to bid other stuff because there's a wide variety of hands that the game forcer can have, and if they have to bid, it makes it a lot tougher for the game forcing hand to show their hand. So I like to play 2 diamonds just as a waiting bid. So here, what I've got is a really long spade suit. So knowing what your system is after a game forcing 2 clubs is important. I've got a choice of either bidding 2 spades or 3 spades here. Now, if I bid 2 spades, I'm showing 5+ spades in an unbalanced hand. And I might not be able to convince partner that I want to play in spades straight away. But if you ever open a game forcing 2 clubs and then jump in a suit, what it says is, this is trumps. We are going to be playing this suit as trumps. So here, partner can, we don't care if partner's got 8 clubs or anything like that. Well, we might care about that, but we basically just want to play in spades. So we want to jump to 3 spades to say, spades is our trump suit. Where do you want to play? Not where do you want to play, let's start investigating slam. So having some bids in your system that just set the trump suit and allow you to investigate slam are quite useful. So keys to slam bidding are knowing how to get into a game forcing auction and knowing how to set your trump suit at a lowish level. Once you've done that, you've got a wide variety of slam bidding tools available to you. Now what I like doing here is we've set spades is now the trump suit, and we know what we're going to game, and I'm interested in slam. So here, partner can bid 4 diamonds. Okay, this doesn't say anything like they've got a long diamond suit or anything like that. Instead, what it would be used for is just to say I've got first or second round control in diamonds. After that, we now know that partner's got either the ace of diamonds, king of diamonds, or a singleton or void diamond. Okay, so we now know we're in slam territory, so now we're thinking about grand slam. So here we just want to ask for key cards. Now partner can show us 1, so I'm just going to pretend we're playing Roman key card 1430. Now we're fairly sure that they've only got 1. I don't think they've got 4. Okay, so we know that they've now got the ace of diamonds. So we're only worried about the king of diamonds. So what we can do is say 5 no trumps. We've got all the key cards. What more do you have? And what I like to play after this is what's called a specific king ask. So partner just tells us where they've got the king. So if partner's got the king of diamonds, we can just put our hand on the table and say, yeah, we're going to take 13 tricks. If partner did something like this, 6 hearts, we now know that they don't have the king of diamonds, don't have a king of clubs or anything like that, but they do have the king of hearts. Okay, so we're now close to we're close to Grand Slam. We want to consider what do we need from partner to have Grand Slam. We've got the ace of diamonds, so let's cover our 10 of diamonds. They also have the king of hearts, so that'll cover our jack of diamonds, but we're still missing something. So they might have something like the queen of hearts, in which case we'll be able to take all 13 tricks. Or they might have the queen of clubs, which we can take all 13 tricks. But it's not totally clear cut that that's what's going to be. But we can't quite count 13 tricks. So whenever you're considering Grand Slam, you want to be quite sure that you can get 13. Now we've told partner we've got all the key cards. And partner said they've got the ace of diamonds and king of hearts. When partner knows we've got all the key cards, they're entitled to make, after the 5 no trumps bid, they're entitled to bid Grand Slam if they think they can make it. But here we know we can just bid 6 spades. But actually 6 no trumps will be just as good, unless partner's got a diamond singleton, in which case they'll probably be bidding Grand Slam anyway. Oops. But anyway, accidentally clicked redeal there, brought the hand back. So just give me a second while I get through. So 2 clubs, pass, 2 diamonds. I just like this to be a waiting bid. Now what I said is if you bid 2 spades, you're just showing a spade suit. But if you jumped in any suit after opening a game forcing bid, what it does is sets the suit and says this is what's going to be the trump suit. Now for slam bidding, it's really important to be able to say this is what's going to be the trump suit. If you can set a trump suit at a low level, it opens up Q bidding and other features for really good slam bidding. So now partner doesn't need to tell me about their length, but can instead say where they've got first or second round control in. So they say they've got first or second round control in diamonds. Now I can ask for key cards. They show 1 or 4. I say we've got them all. And I like to play specific kings after this rather than how many kings do you have. They say that. Now we can't quite count 13 tricks, but we know you could bid Grand Slam on a finesse, but we don't want to do that. But we know that 6 no trumps will be just as good as 6 spades because partner's got the king of hearts. So if we're playing match points, bidding 6 no trumps could be relevant. And partner doesn't have anything more, so they just leave that there. Okay. Now we get the Queen of Clubs lead, and we can see that we've got at least 12 top tricks, but we just want to take a diamond finesse. There's no rush to, we don't need to take it now, but there's no benefit to really holding up on it. So we'll just take the diamond finesse, and today it doesn't work. But we could have made 13 tricks if West had the king of diamonds. But here, key points to this auction are knowing what your bids are after a 2-club opening, and what I like is a jump bid to set a suit just to allow you to start getting into a queue bidding auction. So here with my 7 solid spades, I don't care what partner's lengthened spades or anything like that are. I just want to say this is what's going to be trumps. Let's start a queue bidding auction. Okay, so I'll just claim making on that. Okay. Now, here we've got another strong hand. I got 23 points and a balanced hand. If anyone's got any questions at any stage, just feel free to ask me. If you log into Twitch, you can type questions and then I'll answer them as I can. So 23 balanced. So the way you want to show this is open 2 clubs. When partner responds, try and bid 2 no trumps. Okay. Now again, I like my responses to 2 clubs just to be 2 diamonds waiting, just leaving as much space for the game forcing hand to describe their hand, and then it's up to the other person to decide where to go. So, okay, so I've shown my 23 balanced, and partner can now bid Stayman, checking for a fit. I show them my spades. Now they just decide to settle on 6 no trump. Okay, so partner's got sort of a good 9, maybe 10 points. And okay, so we look at this down. So this is an example of why I like partner to bid 2 diamonds waiting. So here they have 9 points. Now, if they were to be the usual, if they wanted to do something other than 2 diamonds waiting, what people would usually suggest is that they bid 2 no trumps, which might be like 8 to 11 or something like that, or 8 to 12 points. Now, I don't like that for a couple of reasons. Is if I have an unbalanced hand, it makes it really tough for me to be able to show my suits properly, and really, really tough if I've got a 2-suited hand because they've taken away a whole level of bidding. Secondly, it's now probably got the weak hand to play the hand. So if you look at this hand, if the north hand was playing in no trumps, my king of diamonds isn't protected, such as the east hand would be able to lead through my king of diamonds straight away. And then slam would be solely on trying to find out whether the ace of diamonds was with east. That's all it would be. By playing 6 no trumps by my hand, I've got some extra chances. So if we look at spades, we've got 4 spade tricks, and clubs, we've got 4 club tricks. Hearts, we've got 3 heart tricks. So we've got 11 top tricks. But instead of just hoping that the ace of diamonds is with east, we can also try to see whether we can get 4 tricks out of hearts. Now we've got 7 hearts, and we're only missing the jack. So if the heart jack comes down in 2 rounds, we'll have 12 tricks. If the heart jack, if the hearts divide 3-3, we'll also have 12 tricks. And failing that, if hearts are 4-2, with say West having 4 hearts, we can also just then fall back on East having the ace of diamonds. So by playing 6 no trumps by the strong hand, we're actually really improving our odds on this hand. And notice that even though North didn't describe anything about their hand with their first bid, they still get to make a good judgment on where to bid the hand after they've waited to see what the game forcing hand decided to describe. Okay, So here, with the heart suit, you could take, we know we can get 12 tricks. You could finesse east for the jack of hearts on the first round, or you could finesse west for the jack of hearts. But the way you want to play the heart suit is just play the king of hearts. And you want to play for it to drop. If we haven't seen the jack of hearts yet, so if it had dropped in 2 rounds, we would be able to claim this contract. But we don't, at this position, we don't want to finesse west for the jack of hearts. It's better odds to play for them to be 3-3. Here, the jack of hearts appeared, so we didn't have any guess. So that's not to worry. So at this point, we can see 12 tricks. So I'll just claim making 12. So here's the whole hand. But I really like the 2 diamond response to a game forcing 2 clubs to be just a waiting bid. No need to take away too much space from the opener, who could have a wide variety. Opening 2 clubs already takes away heaps of space. Okay, so we'll move on. Get another hand up. Okay, this hand's a really good example of hand visualization. This hand actually came from the Australian Open trials a few years back. Now, it's here to make you think that it's not all just about points. You don't need to count up to 33 points to bid slam. You want to visualize hands and think, can we make it opposite it? So on this hand, what the auction went was a 3 no trump opening. Now what they play that as is a gambling 3 no trumps, which shows a solid 7 or 8 card suit with no outside aces or king. And it will be in a minor. Some people play it slightly different, but that's what they'll do. So now we look at this south hand. So you know your partner's got about 9 points, like ace, king, queen, might have the jack of clubs. Doesn't really have much else outside of it. So if you take a moment and do some hand visualization on this, we know partner's got 7, maybe 8 clubs. They could have a shortage anywhere, but we don't know. But if we think about their losers, so what losers do they have? They have no club losers. If you look at my hand, we won't have any heart losers. I got the ace of diamonds, but they might have some diamonds to take care of after that. And spades, they have, we have a spade loser. Partner doesn't have the ace of spades. So let's visualize a hand. We don't know what it is, but let's give them, say, a 7 triple 2 on clubs. It could be anything, but with 7 solid clubs. If we play in the club suit, or even possibly the heart suit, we'll be able to take partner's 7 club tricks, the ace of diamonds, and then my 7 heart tricks. So we'll probably be able to take 15 tricks if they'll let us. Now, unfortunately, they don't. But what we also know is they won't be able to get any immediate losers. They've got the immediate spade loser, but after that we won't lose another spade trick because I'll be able to trump it. And we're not going to lose any clubs. I've got the ace of diamonds, so we won't lose a diamond straight away, and we'll be able to throw all of partner's diamonds on my hearts. Now on this hand you probably want to play in clubs for one reason, which is partner's got 7 clubs and we've got 3. So we have 10 card club suit between us. So if the opponents were going to trump a suit, the club suit's more likely that an opponent might have a void in. So we don't want to suffer a ruff on the first trick. So we probably want to play in clubs. So here, just by realizing partner's got a useful 9 points, we can just jump to 6 clubs. Because we know that's where their suit is. Because they can't have a solid diamond suit because we've got the ace. And that's where we play. And there's our dummy. So we've lost a spade trick. Now if we count losers from partner's hand, I've got 2 spade losers, no heart losers, no diamonds, but those 2 spades can be thrown on my king, queen of hearts. So we'll be able to make the rest of the tricks. So we can trump and then play a club. And East actually has a void in clubs. So if we decided to play in hearts and West led a club, they would be able to trump the club lead and get the ace of spades and beat us. So that's one small reason of why playing in clubs is slightly better than hearts. Partner's only got 1 heart, the opponents are less likely to be able to trump the hearts on the opening lead. But we'll just draw the remaining other trump. And now throw away our spade on the top heart. Take our ace of diamonds. And now dummy's going to be good. So this was a good example of just visualizing hands of it's not all about just sheer strength when you want to bid slams. You want to think of where are partner's cards and what losers will we actually have. And here we could realize partner's given us a really good description of their club suit. So we know we've got a spade loser, no club losers, no heart losers, and my ace of diamonds will stop any immediate losers, so we'll be able to take lots of tricks. Okay. Here's another good hand. So last hand was about hand visualization. We've also done a bit on using key card. Here I have 10, 16, 18 points. So what I want to do is just open one of a minor and rebid 2 no trumps. Okay, so here I've shown my 18 or 19 points with a balanced hand. Now, after this sort of auction, so I mentioned it on the first board, it's really important to have ways to set the trump suit such that you can then investigate slam. So you want to know what bids in your auction set a trump suit and a forcing. So after this, I really like a 3 of partner's suit just to say, this is what the trump suit's going to be. Okay, we're quite happy for, I want to play in hearts, I don't care how many hearts you've got, let's just start a Q bidding auction. Now, if you can start Q bidding auctions, you're getting into investigating slam really well. Okay, so my partner says, yep, we're playing in hearts. So now what we want to do is say where we've got first or second round control. Okay. So here I've got first or second round control in spades. That's the lowest one because 3 spades is the cheapest bid. And now partner gets to say where they've got first or second round control. And they say they've got it in clubs. So I've shown I've got the ace or king of spades. Now my partner said they've got the ace or king of clubs or a singleton or void. Now I can see the ace king of clubs, so I know my partner has a club shortage now. I don't have the ace king of diamonds or a singleton or void, so what I want to do is just tell partner that was where my last Q bid was. I don't have anything more. Okay, so I've said I've got something in spades, they said they've got something in clubs, and now it's up to them. If they don't have diamonds guarded, they want to stop the auction. We know we're off the ace king of diamonds. If we do have diamonds guarded, we can keep bidding. Okay, and so even though we started investigating slam, we were able to stop at a low level. One bad part about this is that the opponents might use this information to realize that they can attack diamonds. Okay. So here's the whole hand. So partner has just 8 hearts and 9 points. So they were visualizing hands that, maybe I've got something like Ace King of Diamonds and the Ace King of Spades. And that's only 14 points. And opposite that, if they visualized Ace King of Spades, Ace King of Diamonds, the Ace of Spades covers their 2, the Ace of Diamonds and King of Diamonds covers 2 of their diamonds, and the King of Spades is a spare winner, so they'll be able to throw away their 3rd diamond on that. So that's a 14-point hand that could make slam. So this 8-card heart suit is really interested in slam, and all they want from me is a diamond control, either the Ace of Diamonds or the King of Diamonds. You could visualize some hands where I've just got the King of Diamonds. Another hand that can make slam is Ace of Spades, Ace of Clubs, King Queen of Diamonds. Okay, now that's a 13-point hand that will only lose to the Ace of Diamonds. And I've shown 18 or 19. So they're really interested in slam opposite that. But you don't want to just rush in and ask for key cards, because that doesn't help you when you've got suits like Jack 10 third. If partner, that's where control bids come in use, or Q bids, where you get to find out whether partner's got the ace or king or a singleton or void, such that the opponents just can't take the first 2 rounds of the suit. So you want to be able to set the contract, which they did with 3 hearts, to start a Q bidding auction, not just rush in and have to agree, not just have to rush in and only ask about aces, because aces aren't the only important thing about slams. You want to make aces are good to say that we're not off 2 aces, but we also want to make sure we're not off 2 card ace king in 1 suit. So you want to use a combination of both ace asking and control bidding to find out, are we good for slam? After that, we also want to use some hand visualization to make sure that we can actually get rid of any deep losers, or that we might have enough points or something. So the 3 main things for slam bidding are ace asking, Q bidding, and then also making sure that we've got enough just firepower to cover it. Now there's no just good convention for firepower, but it's a mixture of just when partner shows how many points they've got, do we either have enough points, or otherwise they might have described their hand in such a way that you can see that we're going to be able to get rid of enough losers. Okay. So that was a good example of Q bidding. What I just want to talk about is just what are some of my slam bidding tools that I use. Now you don't have to use these, they're just what I like to use. But it's important to know what your partnership uses. Okay, so I've just written up some brief notes on some of the slam bidding tools that I use and go into a bit more detail of what they are. Okay, so I use Roman keycard and I use the 1430 variety. Now everyone's probably heard of that and they probably know these responses. 5 clubs says I've got 1 or 4 keycards, this is including the king of trumps. 5 diamonds says I've got 0 or 3. Some people play 0, 3, 1, 4, so those 2 bids are just swapped around. Now that's another completely fine, it's just what you're used to and what you do. There's not a great deal of difference between them. Supposedly 1430 is just slightly better, so that's why people tend to do that. And then a 5 heart response says I got 2 key cards, but it also brings up the queen of trumps. And 5 spades says 2 with the queen of trumps. Now, one mistake people make when using ace asking or key carding is that they want to have all the key cards before they bid a slam. What Roman keycard is for is or Blackwood is for, is to make sure you're not bidding a slam off 2 keycards. We're happy to lose 1. We can still make our slam off 1, but it's used to make to allow us to bid slam when we're off 2. Not bid slam when we're off 2 keycards. If we're off 1, we're happy to bid slam, so that's what it's used for. People just think that they need all the keycards. It just says, if we're only off 1 keycard, we're happy to give slam a go. But a lot of people don't know what they do after this initial bid. They just feel that they have to do bid slam or know what the answers are. But you don't always know all the information. So after this initial Roman keycard bid, what I like to do is 5 no trumps is a specific king ask. Now some people also do how many kings do you have or anything like that. There's quite a lot of different variety you can do. It's mainly important to know what your bids are. Now I do a specific king ask because sometimes it's more important to know where partners' kings are rather than what kings do they have. Now here, after 5 no trumps, I have 6 clubs saying I've got the king of clubs or the other 2 kings. And now hopefully partner can work out what kings I have. And 6 diamonds says partner I have the king of diamonds or the other 2. Alternatively, after partners bid 5 no trumps saying that they've got all the key cards, I'm quite happy. They sometimes just use it to pass the buck saying, yeah, we've got all the key cards. If you just want to bid Grand Slam, go for it. If you don't want to bid Grand Slam, tell me about your kings. There's sometimes you might just have extra trumps or you just know the hand's fitting really well together, so you might just bid Grand Slam. Some people play that the 5 no trump bid doesn't promise all the key cards, and in which case you can't bid Grand Slam necessarily, but you might be able to bid 6 no trumps or something saying, I wanted to bid Grand Slam, but in case you're doing something slightly funky, last chance to pass a slam. That's a different option. So that's what I played the 5 no trump bid as, specific king ask. Now, there's also some queen asks in here as well. So if you just look at the initial bids, 2 of the bids mention whether you got the queen or trumps or not. It's kind of half a key card. It's important, but not so important that it's mentioned in all of them. These first 2 doesn't mention the queen. Now sometimes you want to find out if your partner's got the queen of trumps. So after they respond 5 clubs or 5 diamonds, the next step or next suit that isn't the trump suit is what asks for the queen of trumps. So let's say partner responds 5 clubs saying that they've got 1 or 4 and you want to find out about the queen. If hearts are trumps, the 5 diamond bid isn't a place to play, and now what we use that to do is to say, do you have the queen of trumps? And these are the responses that I like to use. 5 hearts says no, so just going back to the trump suit always says no. If instead spades were trumps, 5 spades would say, no, I don't have the queen of trumps. If you then go to, 5 hearts, no. If you bid any other suit, what it does, 5 spades, 6 clubs or 6 diamonds, I like this to be similar to the 5 no trump thing. It says, yes, I got the queen of trumps, but I've also got this specific king. Because sometimes partner would like to ask about kings, but before they rush into that, they need to know whether you've got the queen of trumps, because we don't want to say we've got all the key cards when we don't have the queen of trumps. So we combine the queen ask with saying, yes, I got the queen of trumps, and these are my other kings. And then if you don't have any other kings, I use 5 no trumps to say, I have the queen of trumps, but nothing else. Now I do that because it leaves some extra space for partner. It also happens that if you just jump to 6 of a major, I also play that as, I have the queen of trumps, but no other kings, but forgot I could bid 5 no trumps. So that's a bit more detail on what I like to play Roman key card, or how I like to play a Roman key card. The other thing I like to use is Q bidding. Now, queue bidding or control bidding occurs after you can't stop in game, so sort of above 3 of a major, when you can't stop in 3 of a major. So a couple of examples is 1 heart past 3 hearts, whatever 3 hearts means. If you bid 3 spades, it'd say I've got first or second round control in spades. If instead you bid 4 clubs, it'd say I've got first or second round control in clubs, but not spades. And if you bid 4 diamonds, it says I've got first or second round control in diamonds, but not spades and not clubs. So you'd always emphasize the cheapest one first. And the beauty of this is it helps on hands such as that last example hand, where we're worried about the ace-king of diamonds. First round controls don't help you as much with finding out the ace-king of diamonds, that sort of stuff. So here's an example auction. 1 heart past 3 hearts, pass, and now we bid 3 spades, which if you see it says we've got first or second round control in spades. So yeah, we've got the ace or king of spades or a singleton or void. And now if partner bid 4 clubs, they would then say, okay, I've got first or second round control in clubs. And if they bid 4 diamonds, they would say I've got first or second round control in diamonds but not clubs. And the benefit of doing this all before you get to the key card stage is you now know you aren't off an ace-king of the suit or anything like that. So that's roughly a bit on what I like to play over as some of my slam bidding technique. So I was just seeing Laura's comment about, hi Pete, my computer is having delays, don't know if it's an issue from your end or mine. Anyone else having problems? Well, I'll try a new browser, and she said it's better in Internet Explorer than Firefox. Is anyone else having any problems? Okay. So another important thing to do when slam bidding is some people race off and bid Roman keycard and get the 0 or 3 response or 1 or 4 response. And they don't know if partner's got 0 or 3 or 1 or 4. Now, if you've ever done that, it means you've taken the bidding too fast. Before you bid Roman keycard, you want to know how many keycards partner has. So if they give, you should be able to know if they're in the 0 or in the 3 range. It's a 3 keycard discrepancy, so you should have a fair idea which one they're going to be in. So if, for example, partner opens 2 no trumps and then you ask for keycards and they show 0 or 3, you know they've got 20 to 22 points. Now they can't have 0 keycards, so you don't need to worry about them having 0 keycards, so you just bid as if they've got 3. So that's a pretty clear example, but sometimes in the earlier bidding you won't know which one they'll have. So that's why you want to use queue bids before you get to the Roman keycard, so that if partner gives you a queue bid and then you ask for keycards, you also know. It's really important that you can work out whether partner has 0 or 3 or 1 or 4. You don't want to have it such that you ask for keycards, partner gives you a response, and then you sign off with 0 or 3, and then partner with 3 is like, were they actually expecting me to have 4 or anything like that? Because there might be some tricky situations where partner might think you're actually looking for 4 and 3 keycards wasn't enough. But it's a lot better if you can just not rush into keycard and then find out Sorry, I just got asked a question by someone. Broke my train of thought. Don't rush into keycard. Make sure you know whether they've got the 0 or 3 or 1 or 4 keycards earlier. Okay, so those are the hands I was going to go over, and so just in summary, the best things for slam bidding. So first of all, the useful tools that you want to be able to use. You want to be able to use Roman keycards really good, I recommend it. And you want to know what the extension bids are, because sometimes they'll be better. Queue bidding is one of the greatest things for slam bidding. You want to be able to get into a spot where you can use queue bidding and find out whether partner's got aces or kings or singletons or voids, just so you can work out if you're off 2 tricks. So they're the 2 main tools. Other things that are useful are conventions like splinters or other conventions like that give a good description of partners' distribution so that you can pinpoint their distribution a bit more. Okay. After that, you also want to be able to use some hand visualization. So sometimes you want to look at your hand and work out what do you know about partner's hand and think, how will the play overlap? Where will the losers be? And if you can visualize some hands where you can make slam, then maybe you want to go investigating slam. So they're the sort of tools for bidding slam and trying to work out if slam makes. The earlier groundwork that you have to do is you want to be able to, in your auctions, set up game forcing auctions such that you can make bids at a low level that won't be dropped, and also know how you can set what the trump suit will be. So they're 2 useful tools that you want to discuss with your partner and work out how can we get into a game forcing auction and how can we set the trump suit early such that we can then investigate slam with the tools that I described. They're my main tips on slam bidding. That's all I was going to cover today. If you've got any questions, I'll just hang around, and hope you enjoyed the lesson on slam bidding.